Mazinger Z, also known as Tranzor Z in North America, was created by Japanese artist and writer Go Nagai in 1972. His original manga story of Mazinger Zeto was published in Shueisha's Weekly Shonen Jump in October of 1972. A few months later, it was adapted into an anime television series which first aired on Fuji TV in December 1972 and aired until September 1974. Since then, Mazinger Z has been syndicated around the world and translated into various languages including Spanish and Portuguese. An English language adaptation didn't reach the United States, however, until 1984 when a fledgling production company, 3B Productions Limited, adapted it as Tranzor Z. This video will examine the various differences between the original manga comic and the 1972 anime TV show, as well as the differences between the Japanese and American versions. In both the Japanese manga and anime versions of Mazinger Zeto, the giant mecha robot is piloted by teenager Koji Kabuto, who discovered the robot upon the death of his grandfather, Professor Juzo Kabuto. In both versions, Koji initially had serious trouble learning to pilot Mazinger Zeto and required the timely intervention and assistance of Aphrodite A, piloted by the beautiful Sayaka Yumi, daughter of Professor Genosuke Yumi, who just happened to be a friend and colleague of the dearly departed Juzo Kabuto. This led to confrontations between Mazinger Zeto and several mechanical beasts commanded by villain Baron Ashura, a literal half-man, half-woman under the command of the evil Dr. Hell. Also, in both the anime and manga versions of Mazinger Zeto, supporting characters throughout the series were Koji's little brother Shiro Kabuto, Koji's friend and rival known only as Boss, a character so mysterious that even the author didn't know his real name, and Count Brocken, another lieutenant of the evil Dr. Hell. There were some differences between the comic book and the cartoon, however. The first major difference is that Professor Juzo Kabuto's grotesque and disfigured appearance in the comic book had to be toned down for the anime cartoon. So unlike comic Kabuto, anime Kabuto got to keep both his eyes. Difference number 2. In the comic book, poor Professor Kabuto was killed in a freak earthquake accident, whereas in the anime, Kabuto was straight up murdered by Baron Ashura. Third, in the comic book, after discovering Mazinger Zeto for the first time, Crazy Koji decided to take Mazinger out for a spin in the middle of downtown Tokyo and cause probably billions of yen worth of property damage in the process. In the anime, however, Koji was nice enough to take Mazinger out for a walk in the woods his first time. Even though he didn't smash any tall buildings, he did almost accidentally squish his little brother to death. Lucky for him, Sayaka just happened to be around to rescue him. Speaking of Sayaka, in the comic book, Koji and Sayaka eventually ended up attending the same school. In the anime, however, it was established early on that Sayaka was homeschooled and was envious of Koji being able to attend high school. In both versions, however, Boss and Koji were in the same high school classes together, and also in both versions, Boss had a man-sized crush on Sayaka who did not feel the same way. Sorry, Boss. In the anime series, there was sexual tension between Koji and Sayaka, but not exactly a budding romance. However, in the original comic book, Sayaka had a straight-up crush on Koji, who obviously had feelings for her, but generally kept them to himself. There is one character present in the comic book who was conspicuously absent in the anime series, Inspector Ankokuji. In the comic, he was the police detective investigating the property damage caused by Koji Kabuto during his first trek with Mazinger Zeto. Inspector Ankokuji was not in the first anime series, however, and would not be featured until the more recent Shin Mazinger Zeto series in the early 2000s. Additionally, 3B Productions had to tone down quite a bit of adult-oriented content in Mazinger Z in order to make Tranzor Z more kid-friendly. If you saw people getting knocked unconscious in Tranzor Z, I've got bad news for you. In the original Mazinger Zeto, they were straight up killed. In the American adaptation, a lot of the sexist behavior from the original was toned down, so in Tranzor Z you didn't get to see Koji and Shiro trying to flip up Sayaka's dress in an attempt to humiliate her. Also in Tranzor Z you didn't get to see the awesomeness of Aphrodite A firing missiles from her double Ds. Also in Tranzor Z you didn't get to hear Koji uttering expletives every other scene, including a few of George Carlin's 7 words you can never say on television. If you grew up on the American version of Tranzor Z, do yourself a favor and order the original Japanese version on DVD and watch the show the way it was always meant to be viewed. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I also hope you found it to be enlightening and educational. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos and music.